liquid currency, so actual physical currency, plus checking accounts. So anything that you can literally, we don't use checks anymore, most of us, but anything you can write a check on, or you can, your checking account and physical currency is our M1 money supply. The M2 money supply includes all of the M1 money supply, but it also adds more longer term deposits. So it includes all savings accounts as well as all CDs and time deposits, deposits that are basically liquid once a certain amount of time is up. And then they're in a bank. They're not in some kind of other financial institution where they're invested. So the M1 and the M2 money supply is something that we would get on a weekly basis. And then in April, for the first time since the 70s, that is now stopping, and we are now only going to get a monthly report. And, there's a reason that this reporting is being stopped when it has been going on literally for 50 something years. So there's a reason that we have stopped reporting this weekly. And we do know that with the stimulus, that the American balance sheets have exploded with savings. There is a ton of savings, and there's a ton of potential capital that could be used to go out and really spend once the economy is reopened and people are going out to concerts and restaurants and cruises and to the movies and to the theater again. Hopefully we'll get Broadway reopened. My goodness, we've got to get people back to work. I feel so sorry for all these actresses and actors that just their career just vanished. And that leads me to the job report. So before I finish off and move on to the new section, I really want to finish off with this M1 and M2 money supply, and just let you know that what we've seen with this new administration is a Federal Reserve that is very interested in bringing a lot of their, additional purposes. The Federal Reserve has a very, very narrow purpose in America. The Federal Reserve's goal is to keep inflation under 2%, 2% or under, and to keep, employment to keep us at full employment as much as possible. So to help with employment and to keep inflation at a specific targeted level or less. So of course we don't want de-inflation, but the point is that's their mandate. And since this administration's taken over, we've seen a few of the banks, the Federal Reserve banks, write papers on, building up specific type of minority communities and, just a list of social justice kind of goals that I'm not saying in and of themselves are not good goals. I just don't think that they're appropriate for the Federal Reserve. And it is alarming to me on the economic side, and as somebody who was in the markets, that this would be where the Fed would head, because the fact that you combine this type of social justice motivation expanding their role beyond just necessarily inflation targets and full unemployment, you really have to get concerned with what does this not reporting the M1 and M2 money supply, which happened under this Biden administration, mean? And how is this Federal Reserve and the central banks of the world being leveraged to implement some of these political ideas? The Federal Reserve, you would think, should be as apolitical of a division of government as possible. It's related to the money supply. But unfortunately, if you have politicians that want to spend more and more and more money, they're looking to the Fed to cooperate and to show how, there's this theory that I've talked to you guys about.